Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is again the one and only Queens Realm podcast. And as you can see, I have special guests. One's here, one's there. Special guests. And today, if you didn't see the title already, today's episode is called The Hunt. And we're going to talk about the way the men and the women pursue each other. I'm the only lady here today, so we're going to focus on the fellas, and they're going to tell us, how and they approach women and why they approach women that way. And I'm going to ask all the questions. We're going to get in their business a little bit. So, first question. How do you shoot your shot? And I'm an any, many, money, mo this about who I want to go first. But if I'm each ice cream, each out. Elgin, you're first. Go ahead. How do you shoot your shot?
I mean,
Anytime. I mean, we're
it
listening.
just it just depends on the setting, how I meet the person and how, the interaction comes off.
Mhm,
We're in a social media culture,
mhm,
so if it's through social media, it may be, kind of light of like, liking a few pictures, followed by like, a message with some type of compliment or things like that
mhm,
to kind of lighten the mood and kind of break the ice. And then maybe, just follow it up with, hey, I like what I see, da 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 da, whatever, whatever. If you're close, then maybe it might be, let's just change numbers, get to know each other
mhm,
type
mhm.
thing.
So you hopping in the DMs, but
I
first,
mean,
first you hearting some stuff. You double tapping.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you gotta test the waters a little bit. You gotta see if you get some, some hearts back or something. You can't just be
Uh-huh.
hopping out in the DMs. You don't even know like if the interest is mutual.
You don't know the DMs is pliable. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta do your homework. You gotta scroll the page a little bit, make sure ain't no gentleman nowhere. Make sure
You
you
gotta
ain't messing
investigate.
up happy
You
homes
gotta
and stuff.
investigate. Women
Yeah,
investigate too. We might go a little bit
yeah,
further back, but we investigate.
yeah. I
Really,
gotta, I gotta see what things look like from 2019. Like
somebody
can't
preach
be
today, because
can't
I
be
know.
just out here jumping in DMs. You don't know what's going on. You
I
done
look
missed
for
something.
when I stopped seeing you with a lady. What date was that? How long it's been? Okay, that's the
Yeah,
last time you mentioned this. Okay, yeah. So men do that
yeah.
too. Okay, Chris,
I mean, me personally, I don't know about every man, but I know I do it.
I investigate. Chris, we can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Are you muted? Nope, we don't hear you. No, I don't know what happened. Cause you was just talking.
Yeah, it did say you was on mute, but it came back to normal now.
Yeah, don't hear anything. Men investigate too. That's. I didn't think y'all be caring. Let me write that down.
Man,
Let me write that. Men be caring, man.
I don't
Cause
know what's up with Chris. You might got to leave the room and come back.
yeah, I'm gonna kick you out and then come back.
Yeah,
Kick you out. You gotta leave all the way. You gotta leave yourself. I can't kick you out all the way. There you go. Uh, this and this.
yeah,
Y'all
but
be
I think like men that's you know that's real do their research. I mean, if you just looking to score, then you really don't care. I think.
women are FBI agents. So funny enough, funny story. I used to want to be an FBI agent. I wanted to be a
Hmm.
forensic psychologist at that. So which is basically a profiler. So I'd be all in. What date was this? May 2019.
Hmm.
Okay, I go all the way back. Soon as because people will say they single in their little bio thing on thing, and then this got all these matching pajamas. I, y'all was just matching pajamas for Christmas. Now you single though. You single, but it's still you still wearing matching pajamas, which I have never done.
Mm.
I've never dressed I haven't dressed like a date since prom.
Hmm.
Okay,
All right. How about now?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
Gotcha. Cool.
I'm gonna just edit that out. So we're
Bet,
gonna go
bet.
right back into because I can edit now because I paid for the software.
Nice.
It's
Big
just
time. Yeah,
tedious.
Nice.
no, I got to co-sign on that. Like, you got to do your research first, because so even this social media age, it's still, you jump in somebody's DMs and you can get caught up in all kind of mess, or you can get ghosted or blocked, or all that. So, got to shoot for success. I guess the question is, how do I shoot my shot?
Yes, that is the question.
I I'm one of those people that I don't like rejection, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like training myself to be able to handle it. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, like, I'll do my research or whatever, and make sure the young lady I'm after knows my name. But uh, when I decide to make that move, I'm just gonna go straight for it. Just ask her out for a date, exchange numbers, whatever. But like, whatever this next step is, I just got to go for it. So
Let me tell you. Tell me what. Well, I can't tell you what women do because we'll discuss that more in the women's episode. But I'm the only lady here,
Yeah, I do a bunch of stuff, man.
right,
so
y'all
I'm
be
not
all
gonna
over
talk
the
about
place.
them. I'm gonna talk about me. I'm just outright with it. I don't have time. Listen, because somebody told me, and it was a man, and I'm not gonna bring his name up, and I'm not throwing y'all under the bus. I'm just saying what was said to me from another man. Y'all slow a little bit, just a little bit, and sometimes you get the signals and stuff, and sometimes y'all don't. 90% of the time you don't, because y'all
Right.
flirt with us, and y'all know what flirting with us looks like. When we flirt with you, y'all are totally clueless.
Not
So,
Yeah, I just think it just depends on your experience.
I'm just outright with it. I don't, but I mean, I'm outright with it, but shy at the same time. So I'm bold, but I say it, and I'm like, oh, damn, said it now. Oh well, so well,
okay. Just got to go for it.
pretty much. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna eat ice cream one more time for this next question. It's, let me start. Let me just do like this. And
Well, he went first last time. I'll go first now.
okay. See, he saved you because you might have been first anyway.
Fair. It's fair.
So tell me about a time, huh? You shot your shot and it didn't go the way you thought it was gonna go, but the bad way. Like it started off good, but then it didn't. You didn't. You didn't think it was gonna go where it went, and it didn't end well.
And like every day of my life,
It was ready to end time, but every day.
like, I got plenty of stories now.
I
Like,
mean,
we did a
we
whole
want the
episode on
story.
horror stories. So
Oh, y'all did on their
um,
podcast. Go check that out.
yeah,
T4
definitely.
Movement, Chris at the XD
You
horror
know it.
stories. But we want to hear one on Queen's Room right now.
Oh man. When did it not go my way? Okay,
I know a
so
story that I want to hear, but it's on their podcast. Let's tell that one because you know which one I'm talking about.
it's still a couple of them.
Just why? Okay, tell the people why everybody get McChickens from here on out. That's the story I want to hear.
Okay, so
That shit's hilarious. It's not funny, but it is.
so
McChickens.
there was this girl. All right,
Mm-hmm.
nice. I thought, well put together, carry herself well, church girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we known each other. We hung out for a while, whatever. I was feeling like, I'm gonna take my shot. I'm gonna shoot my shot and see what happened here. So I invited her out. She stays in a different city, about an hour away. She agreed to a date. I said I'd pick her up. We go to a nice dinner. Get to know each other.
Pause. He said he'd pick her up an hour away. Okay, continue.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So I go out, drive out there. Saturday. I get all dressed up, drive an hour out, pick her up at her place. We sitting there talking on the way to dinner, and sitting there telling me like, oh yeah, she's single, not really nothing going on, so looking for some excitement, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, this is gonna probably go somewhere. We go out to Olive Garden,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the first sign because she was sitting there thinking I was giving her choices where to go to eat, and she was like, "Well, there's Olive Garden I like. There's Red Lobster I really like, and all these like high scale places, whatever
Mm-hmm. I'm
for a
immediately
first date."
scared. For the
Yeah,
first date, yeah, because you, ma'am, we could
yeah,
go to
no,
Starbucks and talk. Anyway,
yeah. So we go there, drinks, appetizers, main course, dessert, all this. I was sitting here trying to like have conversation with her, and she's like not giving me nothing back. So we call it a night, whatever. I drop her off at home, and I tell her, I really had time. I'd like to, hang out more often. And then she changes her story to, well, I'm just so busy right now. Like I got all this going on. Like I don't think I got time for dating. Okay, drop her off, head home, just take the L, and there it is. Spend about $100, and she got the leftovers too. But okay,
man, remember my plates. They're
yeah,
about to go back to. And
still
I
kind of
just,
mad about it, but yeah,
I got to tell the men right now. At the end of his, I got to tell the men right now. She was hungry.
yep,
Do not underestimate what some of these women would do for food. She was
yep,
hungry. You understand me? She was hungry.
yep,
Ain't no
yep, yep.
problem being hungry going on a date, but don't date somebody so they can feed you. I'm
And then
gonna
change the
tell.
story where like, oh no, I got too much going on today.
She was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm gonna say this. Hold on, before I start confessing women code secrets. Let me take a
Hey,
sip.
sip
Go ahead,
on.
and tell it all.
Some women, the women who have rosters, because men have rosters too. Men, please don't be disillusioned to think these ladies do not have a roster. If y'all not together, y'all just dating. What she do when she not with you is none of your business. I'm just
Vice
saying, if y'all
versa
not
now.
together with no title,
Vice versa now. Make sure you put that out there.
right? You're only my business when we're in the same space. What you do without me is none of my business. If we just date, so she might just been trying to turn you into food bait because women
Absolutely.
that I know, and we're not going to talk whether we're talking about me or not. We ain't talking about me. That's not my business. I'm just saying in general. Some of the women that I know, okay, they have different people on the roster for different things. You understand? So there's food bay, there's handy bay. Okay, if you're having sex while you're dating, because not everybody does, there's sex bay. Uh, there's excitement bay, and sometimes sex bay is excitement bay. Some of these people can be intertwined, but it's at least three different people with three different functions in your life. It's the person you can talk to at 3 o'clock in the morning because they psychological bay, but that's all y'all do. But that's just different positions on the team. So you got the point guard, you got the center. Some of these people just a towel boy. Never mind. That's
That is
that's too,
why
that is too much game
first
for y'all.
dates, even the first few dates, ain't nothing but McChickens. Like, you might be able to sweet talk your way into a McDouble, but no,
Listen,
we ain't doing like the Olive Garden
here's the
$70 and you keep the leftovers. Like, nah.
here's the thing. It's like a marathon. Most women that in my circle that I know or that I deal with friends with, it's like a marathon race. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all start at the same pace. But anytime, when you run into 3K, 4K, the lead changes. You understand? You just got to make sure you stay in the lead. You don't need, expensive dinners, whatever, to stay in the leads. We was talking about on the episode that just dropped yesterday, Fight Night Part 2. It's on the podcast and stuff right now about tapping into your feminine energy so you can tap in. I'm just tap so you can tap in.
Hmm.
You just got to figure that lady out. That lady in particular, though, she was hungry. She was hungry. She was
Just you know,
hungry.
And sad to say, she wasn't the first one. So
She was hungry. No,
McChickens.
no,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she should have bet you halfway. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's an hour that you can halfway, half on the bill. Anyway, Elgin,
So
it's your turn. Same type of story. I need the testimonial, sir. We're waiting. The people are
well,
listening.
to my fellow brother Chris, I understand your sentiments, being very much gentleman like, you wanted to set a first great impression,
Mhm.
So I hate that went that way for you.
Live and learn, man.
Me personally, you know, um, I don't really have a story where something ain't really go my way. Um,
Oh, nobody want to hear that.
I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't really have like
He's
something that
successful.
happened like that. Like I don't have one. I mean, if I had to like talk about one, I mean, I think maybe like I was like, yeah, that ain't even it. Like that ain't even it. So
That
I
ain't it.
can't
That ain't
even.
the one you want to talk about.
That ain't the one. Yeah, that ain't the one. So I
The
don't really
perfect
have one
batting
where.
average.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
really had that time where I even got turned down in the DM. So I don't have one.
So he gonna
Lucky
make
you,
me
sir.
make me tell my
Yeah, I
business.
mean, I just watch the clues before I attack. You know what I'm saying? I don't attack on first bite. Like you got to put in
He's
so
stealth
much for that
mode.
back and forth.
I wouldn't
Right.
say like the lions because in the lion community the women do all the hunting. But anyway, uh
Yeah.
speaking of women hunting, I I hunt and I get hunted. It's just the way that I be getting hunted. So in our group chat the other day, I asked my squad, my friends, about like the worst. I don't know, it was me or somebody else. Like the most disrespectful thing somebody else said to you, or the way somebody approached you. Somebody else asked, like, "What's the sweetest thing?" This is what I hate, and I don't use that word often. This random inbox when you post something in your stories. Now I may or may not have been thirst trapping. That is irrelevant. It ain't really it's not really a thirst trap. I looked at a picture of myself, and
uh-huh.
part of my self love routine is making sure that I feel like, or I know that I'm beautiful. So I stuff like, okay, you got to share this with the people. So that's what happened. Um,
Hey, big heads came rolling in.
mm, hey, big head would have been polite. I got, so is you fucking or not? First of all, good evening.
Yeah.
Good
Hello there.
evening. Um,
Start with first names, you know.
good evening. You sent it to my personal Instagram, so you know my name is even if you don't know that's my name. Good evening. Uh, ask your
How you
wife
doing?
is what I wanted to say. Ask your wife because you have a whole life,
Oh yeah,
whole,
we can't be out here like that.
whole.
Yep.
And I will send screenshots. If your wife ever come to me, I'm sending screenshots. So stop playing with me. That I've never really been on a date per se outside of a relationship. So I don't have any stories for that. But that was one of my that approaches that is you fucking or not. But I'm just why who has that worked on? Like I want to know who has that worked on. It
Got to be
has had
somebody
to
because
work because you've done it and you're bold enough to try it. And
It
what
definitely
that
about
started with
audacity from
someone.
somewhere.
they stealing it? That's where the audacity comes from. They stealing it from the stores left and right. They taking it like they bought all the tissue. But how do y'all feel about women shooting their shot? Elgin, because Chris went first the last time.
Um, as far as women shooting their shot, I think it's okay. I mean, I just feel like that,
The
you
way he
know, um, I feel like it kind of gives the man a leg up, and I'm just like being honest, because now you
mm,
always got to chase him, and now he always has that like thing in the back of his mind, like, oh, you wanted me, like I wasn't checking for you, like you wanted me, you know, um, but I think that it's a real way that women should shoot their shot. Like some women be like, shooting their shot, like almost like throwing the cat at the same time. But I feel like you can make, respectful comments, respectful compliments, in somebody's DM, and that's shooting your shot. Like you ain't got to be like all thirsty, like under the post, like, oh my God, you so fine, or like putting heart eyes up under the post, or
Everything you have.
subliminals. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just doing the much to me. I feel like if you want to get somebody's attention directly, like go to them directly. That's what it's called, a direct message, meaning you directly message
Damn.
me. Don't be like doing the most up under somebody pictures and all that, like because it just gives off the wrong vibe and just like
Tongues out, eggplants, ma'am, sir.
yeah. And then at the same time, like they may not even be interested in you, and you probably like cause some trouble with somebody else they interested in because now they like, oh, who is she?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So like,
mm.
just do the direct message thing. Like, don't be
That
doing the
goes
whole public comments and stuff.
both ways. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, it
I don't
do. It
know what
do.
we
It
talking
do go
about.
both ways.
What we talking about on the telephone. That's why I just said about you don't know what your position is on the team, sir. Don't get
Yeah.
on nobody's page. Talk about that's my
That's,
bull back. Hey, 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 hey. Don't do that. Don't don't do that. Cause you may not even be my favorite this week. I'm not saying I have favorites. We ain't talk about me. I'm just saying you may not even be my favorite this week. And you under the picture talking about that's my boo. So then somebody else you talking to a name like, what's going on? So now it's an invitation into a part of my business that you haven't had access to yet. So now I have to,
mm-hmm.
because I'm truthful, now I got to tell the truth. Ain't nothing wrong with telling the truth, but you know what I'm saying. Now I got to explain who this person is. And some men are secure enough in whatever position they are, but some aren't. And it may have the potential for drama. I'm not saying you can't do that. Just don't do that. Don't do that. That's one of those things I put under don't do that. Don't do that. If just y'all only been talking for a week, it may be somebody I've been talking to for 6 months. Don't
Yeah. Don't put
Forgiveness
yourself
hard.
out there like that.
don't. Somebody told me I was mannish the other day, by the way, because I was explaining this. No, 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 no. Since we talk about the approach and the hunt, and you know, I will say this to the men about the roster thing, and don't always assume that you're the only person somebody's talking to. It hasn't been my experience that women are sometimes, not all the time, and I'm saying sometimes very lately, a little bit cleaner with or how they talk to more than one person at a time. So let me so I don't want to say it's more respectful. You just got to deal with other people who are respectful. But sometimes the men, if you talking to other women and I'm talking to other men and we both know that, when I'm with you and you're with me and one of the other people you dating or whatever call or talk to and you answer the phone, don't get off the phone and be like, oh, that's just this bit. Do not disrespect the other ladies you dating or talking to in front of me. That don't make me feel better about you talking to me. Like, oh, I'm on a bigger pedestal to her. I'm listening to you talk about her like a dog. I'm like, oh no, baby, you got to go. You about to get cut from my team. So, don't 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 do that. Don't if you're
Do
dating
that. Hmm.
more than one person and everybody knowing you're honest, there's no reason for you to downplay whatever. I'm not asking you questions about your connection. That's none of my
Mhm.
business. But what you don't and you're not gonna do with me is disrespect this other woman. I don't even know her. You're not gonna try to make me not like this woman I don't even know. Ain't none of my. That's not
Mhm.
necessary because now
That's
I'm
showing
looking
you
at
he doing the same thing about you to somebody else. So,
right. Like don't, because I'm like, oh, what you say about me when I'm not around? Just
Mm-hmm.
how do men really feel about? Because I'm segueing into how do men really feel about women dating multiple people while dating you, or how do
Oh
y'all?
wait, Chris
How do
ain't
y'all?
answer the
Oh
first
yeah,
question
go
about
ahead.
women
yeah.
shooting their shot. How you feel about it? What's your perspective on it?
Yes,
Man,
I
see,
forgot.
I agree with what you
I
said, and I
forgot.
disagree to an extent because I think personally, it does take a lot of the guesswork out of it. Like if it's somebody that you know I've had interest in, or I'm like completely interested in, if they come up to me and let me know that the mutual interest is there, like cool, like let's roll with it. Like I don't personally feel like if a woman approached me first, that she would have to like pursue me for the rest of the relationship. I mean, it's either it's there or it ain't. Like
Yeah, you're gonna take it off
I'm
and
not
run
gonna
with it
like
after that.
right, I'm not gonna like shoot her down and like be disrespectful and all that. But if I'm not feeling her, I'll let her know like, hey, I appreciate you coming up to me. I know it took a lot, but I'm just not there. I'm not willing to go there with you. So thanks. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Some women take that well, some women don't. Boy, I'm trying to
Right,
tell you.
right, exactly.
because I've shot my shot and got rejected. And I'm like, okay. And so other times I'm like, just like with me, it hits your ego a little bit. But I take it like, oh, you don't like me? Why you don't? It's me though. But other times, I'm like, okay, whatever. Um, but one thing when Elgin said it, just reminded me when Chris repeated it. This is the issue I be having. If I shoot my shot and where I put a little breadcrumb out there because I feel like you might be interested, so I let you know it's okay to approach. I'm not finna keep. I don't want to do that. I'm tired now. It's not fun
Yeah,
anymore.
that's why I said some men take it and use it as the upper hand.
Yeah, and
Right.
then when you do that, I'm
Yeah,
like,
that definitely is a problem.
no,
Yeah.
no. Um, and then the question after that was, what did I just say?
You said how do we feel as men about women dating
Yes,
multiple
they
guys
ask
at one time?
people while dating you, and they're honest about it. Like, how do y'all really feel
Mm.
about it? Because I know men say I'm okay with that, and then it happens, and then you be like,
So I'm gonna go first.
mm,
For me, you know, open competition is what it is
oh,
because
you
if
like
I'm
that?
dating multiple people, hey, the best person wins. Like open
Okay.
competition. Like I just feel like as long as it's a good dialogue and you say, hey, da 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 da, like this is what I'm doing and you doing the same thing, I feel like that it like the best person gonna rise to the top. Like
Mm,
I feel like that's what dating is. You have to date different people, different backgrounds, different styles, maybe even sometimes different races, you know.
mm,
If that's what you into. Me personally, I love chocolate, so I'm good
mm,
on everything outside of that. But, anything else, I just feel like that's how you're gonna know. Like that's how you're gonna find out,
mm,
because what you did in the past obviously didn't work. So you might not want to go back to what you did in the past. You might want to try something new, you know. So I think that a female having a roster or dating me plus two more or me plus three more, like it don't bother me, like because we all got options. It's just what you do with those options. If you
mm,
using them or you abusing them, because some people abuse them, like you said. I mean, me personally, I think that's a little slight form of abuse if you got, a food bay, a sex bay, like people are in different categories. They on the roster, but they ain't even getting a real chance. Like they just playing their role. Like they really not getting a real
Just
chance.
there
So
for
you
what
might,
you can provide. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a roster and there's a team. Because everybody that's on the roster don't play. I
I
gotta
can't
be.
even with
Y'all
you
gotta
right
That's
wait.
the
now.
problem. Yeah.
I gotta wait
I
until
can't even with you right now, bro. That girl
because
said you got the
ladies have
rock.
game.
You
They
got
got
the
game.
team.
And people don't be. I'm gonna break it down for y'all in this part too, because y'all just wait for
Please,
that one.
because like, how do you know if you're on the fourth string or you actually starting? Like, what's up?
You don't.
Yeah, that's a problem.
when you know,
Um,
you know when
see
you
if I
know.
can explain. But first, I'm gonna explain in a second, a little bit. Chris, same question.
It makes a lot of sense, and I can see it that way because like I was raised that traditional old school approach. Like you date one person and either go to marriage or it don't, and you fall in love, you get married to this and that and that. It's just like one after another. But nowadays, a lot of people do have those options, like you were saying, and a lot of people do want to see what's out there, so they're not just limiting themselves to one person before they even know that person. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I've never done it, I guess is my official answer, but it makes a lot of sense, and I can see that approach.
Yeah. I didn't start doing it until I got divorced
Hmm.
because, like I said, I never been on a regular date. Just a date with somebody you ain't in a relationship with because it was relationship, relationship, relationship. We serial monogamous over here. Relationship. Then that don't work for me. Now that may work for somebody, but that has not worked for me yet. Hence, I'm divorced. So what I was saying, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit. I can't give y'all all the lady cane because y'all still gotta work. Like if I tell y'all everything, then you ain't gotta do no work. So you know how if a team wins the Super Bowl, cause y'all men, that everybody associated with said team get a ring, but not
Hmm.
everybody touches the field. Far as women go, or let me not even just say women, how I'm looking at things now is I can talk to this person, this person, this person, this person. Different conversations reach different levels. No, I don't have a food bay. I don't have a fun bay. I don't do. I just talk to whoever I want to talk to because I'm single. Sometimes you have to remind yourself and some of the people you talk to that everybody is single. We're all single, single, singular
True that. True
until
that.
some type of commitment is made or somebody got a ring or some sort. We're all single. So I don't have a roster. I don't even have a team. But there are people that I talk to that I may or may not like. However, I just remind everybody that I'm single. If you want this to be more than what it is, you need to speak up. Because if you don't, guess what I'm finna do? What I've been doing. Now, here's another misconception that just because you talking or dating multiple people, that you have to have sex with everybody. Nah, no. In my head, that's just gross. So no, we not. We not.
Yeah,
We.
nasty.
we
Basically,
it's just nasty. No, we're not doing that. We're not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't even know you well enough to know if you wash your hands every time you go to the bathroom. No. Mm-mm. Now, sometimes, forgive my language, y'all, there are women who are with the shits, meaning they just want to get their head, that bread, then leave. That's that's
yeah.
Say that again.
they just want their head. It's a song. The head, that bread, then leave. That's it.
Oh, then leave. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's it. I'm not one of those, but I'm just saying. But those women can look like at first the type of woman that you want to be with, and then you get there, you think she Olive Garden and she McChickens. So,
Yep.
and same thing happened with women. You start talking to me. Oh, he nice. Everything going good. All of a sudden, dick pic. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Do not send those by random. Let me hold on. Let me talk to them. Ain't no woman on the history of earth wanted one of those by random.
No.
Don't do that. Cut it out.
Do not
Just
tweet your meat.
that. Don't nobody want to see that. I was eating, sir. Stop. You know what? Don't do that. Yeah. Could you handle like what's the maximum? That's what I put number. I put down number. I'm trying to read my own shorthand. What's the maximum number of people you would feel comfortable with a girl dating if she was dating you at the same time?
Maximum number.
Because men always start asking numbers, and they
I think
always
it
want to know.
depends on the situation. Like,
Mm, 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 mm,
I mean,
mm.
like who's playing what position on the roster? I guess to put it in the putting in the phrasing here, but it's like,
That roster stuck in his head, ain't it?
yeah, but it's like, how many do you need exactly? Like, if you're interested in me in some way, like, shouldn't that like kind of limit the number of other people you're trying to talk to? Like,
I don't think it necessarily, and I think it doesn't limit until that interest gets to a point where she starts to think about you when she either talking to them or with them, or
okay.
you start to affect her emotionally. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but for me personally, I think like I can't put a number on how many men a woman has, but I think like anything past like four, like you doing too much for
You
me.
got too
Like
much
Yeah,
time.
that's what I'm thinking. Like three,
you
four,
doing too much for
like I
me.
can understand, but
Yeah, but I think if you if you like working, you like got a full time job and like you're an entrepreneur and like you got stuff going on, I feel
mm,
like you really can't entertain. Like you don't have time to entertain more than like three people, because like somebody gonna be getting leftovers. Like somebody, the person you talk to before you go to sleep, so you ain't even really paying attention. You halfway, like somebody getting the short end of the stick. But I think maturely and respectfully, you can communicate with like up to three people and it actually be fluent, you know.
mm,
Um, but that's just me personally.
right. I mean, I can feel that because like I'm coming from the perspective like you living your life like fully. You're not out there
Hmm.
just sitting on your couch like tapping away on your phone. You working, you doing something, you working towards some kind of goals. Like if that's the case, then like personally, I can't see myself dating like more than like two women in that situation. But I mean, yeah, like anything above four is like, where's this going? Like, what's up?
Yeah,
For women, not for women. Let me stop saying for women. For me, 3 or 4 is like a lot because everybody who knows me, everybody who's watched this podcast has heard me say multiple times, I have my times where I want to be bothered and where I don't want to be bothered. And I don't mean it like in a negative way. Like there is
hmm,
space and time in my life where I want a little more attention or a little more, and other times where I'm straight by myself. So you got to catch me in that loop, that loop. Catch me in that because I might be teeter tottering right there between not wanting to be bothered. It's just right there. So one of them seasons about to come up next. I don't know which one, but you got to catch me when I want to be bothered. And what's important for me is the people that I'm talking to. You got to have a life. You got
yeah.
you
You
got to
can't be
have a life.
expecting me to hit you back right away and be sitting there waiting on a message. Like, live your life. Like when we interact.
And don't
Exactly.
take it personal either. Like you didn't talk to me today, but I saw you was online.
Oh, it's my phone. You pay the bill?
I
Right.
don't feel like talking though.
No, forget that. It's my
So,
phone. Do you pay the bill? Who are you to tell me that? Like, oh, I seen you online, but you ain't hit me up. Okay, maybe I ain't want to talk.
women do this a lot, and this is why I get called managed because I just be like, I don't feel like talking, so I don't want to make myself talk if I don't feel like it. I don't want to, and then the more of people to talk to, the less I'm really gonna feel like talking to. So if you got 9 people that you talking to, you can probably get 3 or 4 minute quality conversations. But I'm tired now. I might be peopled out for the week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't even like to talk to nobody when I get home from work. Don't talk to me for 10 minutes because I talk to people
Yeah.
all day. Sleep.
Exactly.
Let me zen
Yeah.
out. Let me. But I might be perfectly fine one day. If it's a day, if I tell you I'm off work from my regular job, I might be doing something with my company, or it might be one of them days I'm just gonna sit in front of this fireplace with a book. I don't want to talk to nobody. I can post funny memes all day on Instagram. That don't mean I want to talk to you. So, but I think 3 or 4 is like a good number just because who got time? Like,
Yeah.
who got time? I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I can't
You
do
gotta remember three different backgrounds, three different storylines. Like, this is too much.
everybody got to. This is a man told me this is why women get nicknames. It's because because you ain't got to remember everybody's name.
Yikes.
This is why I call everybody usually by their first name. I have to really like you to give you a nickname. Other than that, you're just who you whatever say on your government ID. That is your name. You ain't special. You get no nickname. You're you. Whatever that government that birth certificate say, that's who you are. So, I ain't bust nobody bubble. Um, another question. Another question. Now, fellas, we about to get in y'all business for real. For
Oh
real,
boy.
for real. Hold on, hold on, because I gotta ask questions. If you're talking to more than one woman, are the women the same type of woman, or are you purposely talking to different kinds of women? The look, the thoughts. Come on, thinking faces.
I mean,
Mm.
if I was talking to multiple women, I'd probably want them to be different. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because if you just, I mean, you can have your type, you like who you like, but you want like, isn't that the point to like get the broader range so you know like who's who and what you want and refine what you want? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Elgin, because I saw you thinking over that. Just
Nah, I
thinking.
was just about to say, you talking to different, you got multiple women, like they gonna be different. Like one may be, you know, one may be, a little bit more like you. One may be a old version of you,
Mm,
and one may be, in between.
mm,
Um,
mm,
or it could be different. One could be the one that you really, really want. One is like you kind of giving them a chance, like they kind of not your type, but you want to like figure it out. You want to feel it out a little bit more. And then it may be one that's just like, just a shot in the dark. You just want to find out. You don't know much about her. You don't really know if she really even interested in you like that, but you put forth the effort. So I
mm,
think they're definitely different. That's the reason you have multiple ones because maybe you don't get everything you want inside of one. So you got a
mm,
little bit from this one, a little bit from that one, a little bit from that one, and you're doing your best to see which one can give you everything you need before you make that move to be like, okay,
before you
let's
move
be
further.
exclusive.
Right.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah,
You got
I
an
feel that.
interesting question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not answering that question that I just asked y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh, I
don't.
think I have an idea what your answer might be, but go ahead.
What? What? You don't know me? Um. Um. Yes, everybody got to be different because I'm strange. I know I embrace my weirdness. I like a lot of different things. Uh, and I have multiple facets of my personality, so everybody got to be different. The only the only thing that might be the same if I'm noticing a pattern within myself, and it ain't even really a shallow thing. Everybody's 6 feet tall. Everybody's taller than me, but I'm 5 feet tall, so that's not hard to do. That's pretty much it.
There go the height
Um,
thing again.
huh?
There go the height thing again.
Listen, I put a whole list of things that I like about men of all shades, colors, and sizes on the Ladies' Night episode on Creeping Podcast. If you want to laugh and get into, what ladies be thinking about and talking about, go watch that. That tell you everything you need to know. Um, and that segues into how important is sticking to your type when pursuing a woman to men or to y'all. Do you have a type? Period. How important is sticking to your type when you're pursuing a woman?
It depends on how specific, because I mean, if you specifically want like A, B, C, X, Y, Z,
Mm,
the
You gonna limit your chances.
right, like if
mm,
the point of dating in the whole roster is to, figure out what you want, you got to kind of like you got to kind of have that fluid concept. I think that's just me personally.
Yeah, I think like I think kind of the same thing what he's saying. Like I feel like that. Well, for me personally, I feel like that. You know, when it comes to your type or whatever the case may be, like unless it's well defined, you're
Mm,
going to have some people that may have a few, personality traits that match up with your type, or they may be, you know, say you like darker shade of women, they may match up with that, but there's gonna be qualities about anybody that you don't like.
mhm,
So I think too also is like sometimes in the beginning you're giving someone an opportunity off of like a small like window of what you know. So they may
mm,
be physically attracted to you. They may speak about a couple things on their page that interest you, but you don't really know them. So like they could be on the roster, and then you come and find out later like they really ain't your type. You really don't like them. After like 2 weeks of conversation, the conversation kind of dry.
mm.
Or like they talking about Birkin bags and a whole bunch of foolishness. So you like, nah, you're not really for me. You for the streets.
Okay, back from
So
TJ
let me
Maxx.
just go on and remove myself.
All right.
So like, yeah, I just think like in the beginning, it's not really about your type. It's just like about attraction and what you see, because you don't really know anything yet till
Right.
you get deeper into it.
Yeah, because types and personalities tend to be different things.
Jesus, somebody, where's the oil? Cause that was my next point I was gonna get to. Like, you ever pursued a woman, like Els was saying, for one little thing, and it seems okay at first, and then have you ever had to back up immediately from in the middle of your approach? Was the question.
In the middle of the
Like,
Oh yeah,
approach, I mean, yeah, like I wouldn't say like the same day or middle of a conversation or anything, but like over the course of a few days, like talking to her, you figure out she ain't really it.
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
mhm.
I definitely agree. I think my problem sometimes I give people a little bit too much rope, a little bit too much time. So they be like, dang, he this, he that, and now all of a sudden it's like, you back up, and now they like, why? Bro, come back. Like, they like, dang, I done done this. Stop talking to everybody because our conversation good. And I'm
Mhm.
like, it
I
might
didn't
be
take
good, but it ain't. I ain't tell you to shut it down. Like I ain't tell you to do none of that. Like keep doing what you're doing.
We didn't have that
So
mutual agreement that this was going somewhere. So
nah,
you mind your business. I will continue to mind mine. See,
yeah,
see, I can't
yeah,
wait until we do part two of this with the ladies because it's so much stuff that's going to come out, and I think men, even the men who know me and my friends, are going to be surprised. Uh, I will throw this little tidbit in here. I have started therapy, and I had the second session yesterday. Uh, it was the
yeah,
first real
that's good
session.
stuff.
Let me tell you, things that come out in 45 minutes.
A lot bubble
Woo!
to the surface.
I had homework and everything. Woo! And I learned a lot about
big ups for
myself.
taking that step though, for real.
Yeah, because child, it's needed. Um,
Mhm.
you hit on it a little bit, and we're gonna end. We're gonna end it a little bit with this because again, she's working on her time. You understand me? But it's not to throw ladies under the bus. It's also just me and two men talking, and they kind of get to the point a little bit quicker some of the time. Some of the time, not some of the time.
It's
I'm
okay.
just
It's
saying.
true. Yeah.
I didn't say that because sometimes y'all be going a little bit, and I just be like, I want the Dave Chappelle wrap it up. But okay, anyway, anyway, how do has there been a growth in how you've handled rejection?
Absolutely.
Every when because I know when you was say I'm gonna what did I write? I wrote 15, but that's too long ago because we're not that old. We adults, but we're not that old. So I said 15, but from 10 years ago, how you handle rejection to where you at now, how you handle rejection. Is there a difference? What is the difference? And what have you learned about how you handle rejection?
I
Any one of y'all can go first on this one. I'm ready. I want to hear this.
Mm, well, for me, I'll speak from the past because, like I said, I haven't really had no recent story about
You
rejection.
get it out the park
Um,
every time. Go ahead.
nah, not necessarily like that, but I'm just saying I never really had like
You got a good,
rejection
bad,
like
average, or
that.
whatever.
But like back in the day, I think like um, I um, I would take it to heart
Mhm.
and not necessarily like how some dudes be like, oh well, f you then you was ugly, da da da. Like I would know, I would like look at me and be like, dang, what about me? She don't like, like why she don't, want to give me the time of day? Like what is it? Am I this? Am I that? Whatever the case may be. But as I've grown and matured and life has changed me, and grew my level of thinking. Like I just feel like even today, like say like I shoot my shot with somebody tonight and they like shoot me down, like I'd just be like, okay, like you just wasn't for me, like it's not really like it's not gonna turn me away. I'm not gonna go in the corner and cry. I'm not gonna unfollow you or nothing like that. Like people just be doing the most because they get turned down. Like, but for me, like, okay, we just, my words didn't hit right, or my
Mhm.
physical appearance is not up to par. Because obviously, if it was, you would at least, wanted to say, well, let's talk a little bit more. Let me hear you out face to face or over the phone. Like I just, I just feel like I'm just very confident in who I am and where I am in my life right now, and like so if I was to get turned down, I would just be like, okay, respectfully, like, all right, that's cool. Like, just keep it
Respectfully.
moving.
Hashtag respectfully.
right, yeah. I don't think it's pretty much the same for me because back say 10 years ago, I didn't really have a good self image. I didn't have like a good sense of self worth. So when I got turned down, I did kind of take it to heart a little bit. I never
Mhm.
like got on like social media crying, throwing up the middle finger, and like calling women out and nothing. But it's like I would kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
shut down. Like yeah, I kind of like take a day to myself, like just sit in front of a video game and just not talk to anybody and all that. But like as I start to grow and start to like see what I can bring to the table and what I can bring to a relationship, and if I reach out to somebody and they ain't feeling me, it's like okay, well, you're not the one for me. So yeah, wish you luck.
Part two. Okay. So for me, it's definitely a difference because what's this year? It's 2021.
Yep.
2 years ago, 10 years ago was 2011. I was in a whole relationship, so I didn't really have to deal with rejection per se. But you still deal with rejection in relationships, and that's a whole another episode. But I do handle not getting what I want a lot differently now than back then. Because back then I was what we call the Facebook philosopher. I'm throwing up scriptures, memes.
Why women always go to scripture when they don't get what they want? Please tell me that.
Every
Listen,
time.
I'm posting songs. Uh, yes, you do. I'm sorry, I'm responding to a text from the ladies who said we got to get it together. Yes, you do. And if y'all watching this, the ladies know who they are. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Got to get it together. You surely do. You understand?
Hey, not me. So hey,
Today, with a TUH today. Um,
All right, nah.
now I just deal with it like, okay, I don't get it, but I don't. As a woman, we always want to understand stuff. I want to understand why. I always wanted to know why back then. Why? I don't care. That's not one of my cares anymore because I'm the greatest me of all time. That's what I tell myself every single day. I didn't say I was the greatest person of all time, the greatest woman of all time. I am the greatest me of all time. So long as I keep believing that, I'm straight. I'm good. I good. Uh, so I'm going to wrap this up. Part one, the hunt. Part two of the hunt is going to be filmed shortly with the ladies. With the ladies, because they need to get
Can't
it
wait.
together. Because I had to hunt.
Can't wait.
Oh Lord, y'all might want to get notepads for that one because it's gonna be so much. Like I said the other day on Fight Night Part Two, which is up right now on Queens Room Podcast. Um, you all get a lot of free game. Okay, free. Because I just want to help the people. That's my purpose in life. God put me on the earth to help the folk. You get a lot of free game. Okay, and if you just pay attention to what we saying, live through our testimonies, then you'll be all right. So I'm going to ask for some last words and thoughts of advice to the men and to the ladies from your perspective on when you're pursuing and getting pursued. And Chris, you're first. What you want to leave the people with today?
I mean, there's a lot I'm gonna take away and a lot I'm gonna try and like implement, I guess. But don't make dating more difficult than it has to be.
Mm,
Like, I understand we all got a lot to, we all have a lot we can lose, a lot of like damage and a lot of harm that can come in our lives. But let's not make it more difficult than it need to be. Like,
yeah,
just keep it simple. Dang.
yeah. I feel like it's so much in there. Ooh, we gotta go,
Mhm.
Mr. Executive.
I say to the women, um, it's okay to date multiple men.
Oh, wait a minute.
Like,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. A man said it. Turn it.
yeah,
Ladies, pause what you're doing right now. Turn the computer up. Go ahead. Hold on. I want to make sure. Let me get my good ear. Let me get my good side with my good ear. What happened? Say what?
it's
What?
okay to date multiple men. Like, make these men earn the best parts of you. Um, a lot of
I was so
times
much I had one on.
you know, I talk to women or I've seen women that's just like, oh, I just can't entertain more than one. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yes, you can. Stop telling yourself you can't and you never will. But if you say, hey, I'm gonna put
Entertaining.
myself out there, I may go on a date with Tony on Thursday and go on a date with Chauncey on Saturday, like whatever.
Hallelujah,
Like,
Jesus.
do what you got to do. Make these men earn your time and let them know like that. Hey, this is an open competition until one of you steps up to the plate where I'm even okay with you even asking me to be your lady.
Game of
Then we'll
Thrones.
talk about that. You
May the
know,
odds ever be in your favor.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Spirit.
and for my fellas, one last thing for the ladies, like it's alright to shoot your shot. Just don't make yourself look like a fool,
Mm.
please. Because
Mm.
even if a man like you and you make yourself look like a fool, like, nah, it might damper your chances with him. So just be
Mm.
respectful, be polite. One or two compliments, that's it. If you don't get none back, like you don't get none back. But if you say, hey, you know, you look very nice. Your page is very interesting. You look very intriguing. Whatever, something simple. Like keep it light. Don't be
Mm.
oohing and eyeing in the DM. Like let that engagement come mutual.
Let it
Um,
marinate.
and
Mm.
then, for the fellas, like, you know, I just put it like this, like the
Let it
same thing. Make women earn the best parts of you. Like
love
Chris was saying, I ain't really I can't agree with the McChicken. I can't agree with the McChicken, but I do feel like, a first date, should be very much economical and, about the interaction and communication. Like I feel that wholeheartedly. Like I was saying one time before, like first date should be somewhere, kind of quiet where you can kind of talk and get to know each other face to face, feel each other's energy, see each other's vibe. Um, and things like that, or either something adventurous and out the box, so you both can see each other in a different element. That's just my suggestion for a first date. Um, and just be upfront with these women, like straight up, like if you don't answer, like I'm calling somebody else. So ain't no threat, but I'm just telling you right now, like you don't answer, like on to the next. Or if you cancel on me, I'm gonna find somebody else. Like, and you know, just be honest and open and communicate, and everybody will everybody will have their fair shot.
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What I'm gonna say for my last word to this is, listen to what they said. Just listen to what they said, because listen to what they said. Uh, it's all facts. Uh, it's all facts. I don't have no last words because listen to what they said. Everybody needs to earn everybody. Don't have a sense of entitlement with nobody, because that's not your body. That's not your husband. That's not your wife. That's just somebody you're talking to or potentially trying to see where something is going. You understand me? So, you know, just throw out your whole sense of entitlement when it comes to dating and talking to folks. Just throw that in the garbage can. Um, but I want to thank my special guest, Chris for Christ Publications, Executive L, for being on The Hunt, Part 1, Men Edition. This
Learned a lot.
this next edition with the ladies. I don't know if they're gonna be ready. I don't know,
You better get
because
them ready. You better
we're
get
gonna
them
talk
ready because I
about
got
we're
some
gonna talk
questions
about a
for 'em.
lot. We're gonna get into this whole Lori Harvey thing even a little bit, because Sus is the GOAT, first of all. Uh, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk
The
about
goat,
that. We're
the
gonna
goat.
we gonna the GOAT at being Lori Harvey. That's what she's the greatest at. Being Lori Harvey. She know how to be Lori Harvey. That's what I would say.
Listen, we're gonna get
Um,
into it because I got something to say.
you just gonna have to watch the latest episode, and that one may actually be live, just because so it could be real uncut and real true. But again, I thank my special guest, Queen's Realm, aka Samia the Poet. As always, my fellow gentlemen's over here, everybody's information will be in this description box below. Watch out for the premiere of this video, because I can't wait till the women watch this, because I know everything they feeling is gonna come out in the women's edition of The Hunt. But again, thanks for y'all for being here.
Been a pleasure.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Always.
Make sure you follow these gentlemen. Make sure you follow the C4 Milk Chris and the XD. Executive L need to come on with this YouTube page, because he be chefing. You understand me? With the
Yes,
cooking. Just showing off.
yes.
Y'all
Just
need to
kind of.
follow him on Instagram so you can understand what I'm saying. Showing off
And
daily.
teaching as well. I do teach a lot, so you'll learn something if you follow
I mean, he teaching you why he doing it, but he be showing off. You understand? Okay, never mind.
a little bit.
A little bit, my ass. But anyway, anyway, again, thank y'all for watching today. Make sure y'all tune in for The Hunt Part 2, latest edition. This has been Queen's Realm, and we out. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.